Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and start a new series. I'm going to do a build with me type of series. I've done one similar already once in the past. It's probably been about a year and a half ago, but that was sped up. This time I'm going to do one where it is in real time so you can see everything that I'm doing. You will see the cheats that I put in. You'll kind of see maybe a little of the tricks or hints, little things that maybe that I do while I build. So I thought maybe this will just help you see a little bit more of what it is in my process when I build. So the first thing I do is I kind of look at the area that the town that I want to build in. Normally I don't have any specific place. I normally just pick a size and start building. But in this case, since I am doing a series from the ground up, series where my sim has to purchase or build every building in the town with his own money, all my builds lately have been taking place here. So my idea or thought process is that this long area here is going to be parks, and then the center one here will be a park when I get done with it. And so I'm kind of putting like these family homes around it. So I've already changed this one here over to a residential. It's a 20 by 25. So we're just going to go ahead and go in and build. And if you're wondering how did I get into this screen, I just went to Edit Town. Edit Town will let you go in and you can build without having to use any of your Sims money. So, and since in the series my Sim is renting all of his, I lost my train of thought, renting all of his houses out. I'm not having him purchase the house twice. It got to the point where he is basically doing it twice. He's paying to have it built and then he's got paid to purchase it. So I'm not going to be doing that. I will be building the house with free money basically, and then he just has to purchase the house. So this lot is kind of small. It's not quite as big as these corner ones. But what I've been doing is kind of fencing in the backyard because this is a park, a public park. So like this house here has a fenced in yard over here that faces where part of the park is going to be. And then this house here, which is not currently up for a download yet at this moment. This is the next house after he purchases the mansion that I just built. And the mansion is up here. So if you haven't seen that one, there is a speed build for that, and there is a download link for it as well. So I've been pretty busy. I've got several houses done. So this is my thought process. I take a look at the lot, and I don't even know what I'm going to build today. Usually what I do, I like to put my houses up on a foundation. Let's see. So I usually just start plopping it down somewhere. I just kind of do something like that. I just kind of, start sticking it around in different places. I don't think this house is going to be super big. It will definitely not be a starter home, but that'll probably be okay for a backyard-ish area. I mean, that's not very big. I don't normally start off with cheats. I usually start adding cheats in after I get started. These are definitely going to be in the way. I can see that. So we're just going to move these out of the way. But yeah, I usually just put them in as I need them. I think I want that to stick out just a little bit. I just basically, what I do is I try to design a foundation area that's a little interesting, that's a little different. And that doesn't mean the house is going to sit on that exactly. Sometimes I do change it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and do that. I think we're going to put a fireplace on this side. So we'll do that. I guess for like a fireplace area. I don't really know. So we'll go ahead and let's shrink that down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put this in, and then I just kind of start drawing walls. Again, I don't really have anything in mind. when I do this, I just start putting them down, and however the house starts to look is however the house starts to look. I think I would like, I really like front porches. I'm a big fan of front porches. So I think I'm going to put one in. I want to put in a garage here in the front. It's not much room, but I probably need to take out a little bit more here. There we go, and put the garage in right there. So I'm thinking that'll be a porch. And then I think what we'll do is we'll have another porch out here, or wraparound deck, I guess. It's not going to be super big, that is for sure. There we go. Okay, and then now this is where I'm going to put in, if I decide to do a garage, a lot of times after I get the walls in, that's when I decide to do a garage, and I'll go ahead and put it in. So we're going to open up the cheat menu by pressing Control, Shift, and C at the exact same time. That brings up this screen, this little blue thing up here, this bar. You're going to type in constrain floor elevation and then space false. So now we're going to go ahead and put in the garage. So, and it's going to make your walls look kind of weird, but we can fix that. That'll look better here in a little bit. So we'll go ahead about right there. That'll probably be okay. I never seem to know, for whatever reason, I never remember the size of a garage door. So sometimes I'll come in here and just kind of grab one and see. I have this thing where everything has to be center, and that is definitely not going to be centered, so that's going to bug me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just bring this foundation out a little bit more. I'm just going to widen that and shrink the garage a little bit instead. And actually what we can do is we can leave that as part of the garage, even though it won't be visible. Or I mean, it'll be in the garage. It'll be like where the steps can go. We can do that. So we're putting the garage, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our train tools to level terrain, because we don't want these things sticking up. And we're just going to start leveling out this terrain. There we go, to make that all one level. So now it's all the same. So then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and get your walls, and you're going to then put on the upper layer. So it's kind of like having a foundation there, but it doesn't have the floor portion of the foundation, if that makes any sense. So now what we're going to do is we have to get in the garage door. So you're going to go ahead and take your hammer here, or sledgehammer, whatever it's called, and you're going to delete this bottom row, and then you're going to get the wall tool, and you're going to put in another one. And now that again is going to make that look a little weird. We can fix that. So we're going to go ahead. Well, maybe we can fix it. If this were to happen when you put this in, and it happens to me all the time, and I never remember it. You would think I'd remember it by now. But there's no grid line up here to attach. Like no matter what I do, there's no grid line to get. So in order, you can fix that. It's really easy. Just undo what you did. Come back in, do the wall tool, but only do a part of it. Like that. So you still have some of the grid. You see how I still have some of that grid right there on the right? And then we can come up here and flatten that, and then come back in and put the other half in, and then flatten it again. There we go. So now we have what that is what it looks like. And this is going to make your paint look a little weird. It's going to go up, but we can usually cover that up. It's not really a problem. So now what I'm going to do is try to decide how do I want to make the remaining of the house. I know I want this to be a porch. See, I don't look at pictures. I don't Google anything. I just throw down a shape that's a little odd. I don't like them to be square. So just kind of start putting your foundation in any kind of strange way. And then just start drawing some walls and just see where your creativity takes you. So we're going to go ahead, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this as a full upstairs up here at this portion. I like doing a lot of half walls, And what I mean by that is where the roof kind of goes through, and then you have, you know, it's kind of hard to say, dormers, I guess is what it's called. I like to have dormers. So, so let's go ahead and do this. We still want this around for the fireplace. I really like fireplaces. I think what I like the most about fireplace is more or less the chimney. The chimney just adds character. Okay, but we can make it look a little bit different. Like, it doesn't need to have a straight wall here. We can be a little bit different and have maybe some kind of sloped roof there. It doesn't have to be, you know. So let's go ahead and just throw that in so I can show you what I mean. I just kind of put stuff in and we'll just see where it goes, basically. So like something like that, and then we can have, and then we'll have like this piece here that will go in right there, and then we'll have this little something different. So something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. But again, I don't like my Sims to have such a small room. Basically, you're going to be left with something about that size here. Sometimes you can squeeze in a little bit here, but you're not going to have a wall. So what I do is I just kind of make like a dormer. So then I come bring that out a little bit, like so. And like this could be, you know, like maybe a bathroom. Heck, we can even have a smaller dormer right there. Oh no, I guess that won't stick out, will it? So sometimes my thought process, I make mistakes. It doesn't always turn out the way I want. Sometimes I'll have something in my mind and I will try really hard to get it to work, but I don't always get it to work. Like, it doesn't always work. So, go ahead and do something like that. I don't know if I want, I think I want something right there. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I change things depending on the roof, depending on how the roof goes. Looking at it, I think I'm going to need to have more space. So let's, I have no idea what I want to do. Now we can make this look a little interesting. So we'll go ahead and kind of do something like this. And what this is going to be is there's going to be dormers here. So we can do that. And you'll see how it all works out. Like I said, I don't have any kind of plan. I just start building. Whatever comes to mind is whatever happens to come to my mind. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll bring this over like that. There we go. That'll probably work. And then that could be like probably, that's small enough to be like a bathroom. You can fit bathrooms into that. So there we go. It's definitely not going to be a very big house. It might have 2 bedrooms. I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to look into putting in the roof. So to do like the porch, we don't have a grid line here to attach to. So we need to put in one of these, something that'll give us a grid line. So that's why I put something down. Just to put it down is just so I can get the grid line. So let's go ahead and start with our slant over here. And just kind of see how it looks. There we go. And then I wanted one over here as well. And then put one over here. There we go. And then if I were to raise this up, so we'll raise it up like that. So we're just in the roof tool, and I picked the roof selection pitch control. And that's what gives me this option to be able to raise individual roofing to where I want them to be. Okay. So let's go ahead and come down over here. We'll go and grab the gable roof. And we're going to put that in right there. Now, if you're like me and you don't like this little bit here that goes past the wall, which I don't like, you can use the half-hipped roof here. We're going to start back just a little bit. What we want is for when we make this, that we get this a little bit here. One square of, if I can, right here. One square of this pitch right here, that peak. You want minimum of that. And then you can put this in. Whoops. So we don't want that one. It's not going to turn. We want the tall gable roof because it's not turning soon enough. There we go. And then you can put that in and it goes in seamless and you won't have that going past there, which for me, that bugs me. I don't particularly like it. So we're going to get a half gable roof again. We're going to create the roof over here. And again, this is something that you can also do over here and get rid of that. And then you basically have to hope that this roof doesn't, you know, do something it shouldn't do and block stuff. Because sometimes, there we go. So you're going to put that one in, and that was the half-hipped roof. Again, you want a minimum of one square up there. Then we can start this one square farther back and then go over here. And what I'm going to do so this meets is I'm going to bring that down just enough, and we can have like some windows and everything up there. So that'll look nice. And that just keeps that from going into this wall here, and that's almost like the focal point of this house. We don't want to do that. So, alright, so over here we're going to put in the roof here. Again, I just used the gable roof, just a basic one. And now we have to look at this and kind of find a square or rectangular shape. And then we're going to find the gable roof and we're going to just go over that entire spot. It's going to create a little bit of an interesting look. But you know, I like my houses to be different. I don't like them to always look the same. So we're going to pick this gable roof again. This may not work. I might have to change some stuff about the house, but this is usually when I decide whether or not. Yeah, see, that ain't gonna look right. Let's try the tall because it didn't turn. I'm hoping I can get the point. We might have to do this and then maybe lower it. So we're gonna go back to the roof pitch selection. And just kind of lower that just a little bit to where it goes in. Now that doesn't look too bad. And then we're going to pick the high or tall gable roof again and we're going to put it in here. And I like my pitches to be the same. So if I lowered this, I'm going to lower this one as well. I just think that looks better when you do that. So then there's that. And then now we're going to come over here and do this one. So again, gable roof, we want to come up here to the top. Just kind of put that in like so. And what we're looking to do is get the same slant. So we're going to have to bring that up. And these are going to have to come up because we want to try to blend them together. This is what we want. There we go. Unfortunately, Sims 3, the roofing does not always blend seamlessly, but we can always try. And since I raised it, this no longer connects. That's an easy fix. Just come in here and put in another one that goes farther. I'm going to lower that so I can find this one and just bring it up. There we go. And all we have to do now is raise this one back to where we had it, right there. And then all we have to do is lower this one to match. There we go. And it goes all the way through into that roof there. So now we're going to pick a gable roof again, and we're going to go ahead and do this rectangle and do it right there. There's no need to have individual pieces. You can just send it right on through. And we're going to have this little interesting piece here. We can either remove it all together and just make it different and smaller, and yeah, why don't we do that? I think it'll look better. So like I said, I tend to change things. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now if you're in the wall tool and you click hold down Control on your keyboard and hold it, you can then erase a previous wall. So that's all that is. So now what we're going to do is get a half gable roof again, and we're going to come here and just kind of put this in like so, and then we're going to raise it up. Well, I was wanting it to make a nice seam right there, but it doesn't appear to want to make a nice seam. So we're just going to undo. Oops, put that roof back on. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's try this. Let's maybe lower it. What will that do? No, I don't really like that. That don't look good either. Sometimes I don't always know what to do either. So, because I know how it should look, but it doesn't always, I mean, the game doesn't always look good. We might do something like that. It just adds a little more interesting, you know, kind of look happening over here. Now I don't want the roof to go through right there, so I'm trying to raise it up just enough. Just little pieces. That'll probably be okay. So that's a little bit different. I just don't want it to go through and you can see it, is my thing. Why don't we take this out and make a smaller one? That would be the same size I already had. There we go. Let's try a smaller one, because I didn't like how it's poking through on the other side. There we go. Still, whoops, still kind of, there we go. Alright, you know what, that's probably going to be okay, because that's a little bit more, you know, something different on the side. So now our fireplace area, we're going to go ahead. I tend to use the same fireplace over and over, but I really like this one, whatever it is. I don't know, it's so old-fashioned. Alright, so you see how tall that is? That is really tall. It is based on the height of your of your walls. So we're going to change this. So we're going to open up our cheat window, so Control, Shift, and C, and you're going to type in the cheat, Move Objects On. And what we're going to do is we are going to take out some of this. So now you can grab this and delete it. So now we're going to bring this one down, put it right there. And then we'll bring, oh, we can't bring that one down yet. We need more grid line in order to bring it down. Let's get rid of that. Now as you can see, even though I've deleted it, it still shows this chimney in here. You're going to have to just click on buy mode and then go back into build mode, and then that'll get rid of it. That way you can get into this screen here. So, oh, it doesn't want me to put a wall in because there's a wall right here where the roof is. Just delete it. No, that might be still too tall. Let me kind of look at it. Yeah, see, for me, that's really tall. Let's go ahead and do a half wall. So we're going to delete that piece in there and do a half wall. And how does that look? I mean, it's a Sims. It's not like your roof's going to catch on fire, so I based off on how it looks. There we go. That almost still doesn't look tall enough. But I don't like it being taller. So now if you want smoke, you have to have this cap. Otherwise you will not have any smoke. It doesn't matter where you put this. It doesn't have to be on the chimney below. Just as long as it's in there, you will have smoke from your chimney. So wherever you have that, that's where your smoke's going to come from. So there's that. So that is that. Then I normally decide on what I want to do when it comes to like the colors of the house. So I don't normally have any kind of idea when it comes to what I want the house to look like. I do like to have accent walls like stone. So like this bump out piece here will probably have some kind of brick or stone. So I usually go in and just take a look, grab a few different things. Now you can change the color of this. So if you don't like the color but you like the stone itself, don't worry about that, just change the color. But I think I'm going to go with a brick. Not necessarily this brick color, but a brick. So then I'm just going to go in and just start adding the color. And I think when you have a bump out like this, you should do the sides. I just think that looks nice. And then the little roof area up here. So let's see. Let's take a look here. Take a look at some colors. I kind of like in the more like this color here. Well, maybe that's not the one I thought I was grabbing. Let's try this one. So then basically you can go ahead and change it. And what I do to get a little bit of variance is I just take the same color that I have and then just darken it a little or lighten it. So that gives you the same, it's in the same color family basically. And usually when you're in the same color family, it'll match or look good together. And I kind of like that. Why don't we go with a brown house? Because I have a bluish white house or whatever over here. We have this green one over here. Why don't we go with like a brown style over here? So we're just going to go ahead and click on the paint contiguous area. That basically just fills in all the areas that I just did. Okay. Another thing I like to then do is I like to have my chimney. Chimneys are usually in brick, and it was done in brick long ago because of it being resistant to the heat. A chimney long ago used to get really hot. So we're going to go ahead and just put in the brick. There we go. Just kind of color all the way around. So I like to use the same accent color for my chimney. There we go. And then to kind of look like the brick is or all the way around the top. Yes, yes. You can change the color. It just, being stupid, I like to just take this and just copy it over. It just helps give the illusion of the brick being at the top as well. So there we go. Oh, there we go. Whoops. As you can see, I am not a fast builder. We're already like 25 minutes in, and this is all the farther I've gotten. So again, we're going to go ahead and bring this accent color, and we're going to bring it down to the garage. And as you can see, that does not look good, but I will probably cover it up with something else. So, and then I like to bring it in and like accent the porch. There we go. And then of course your foundation along with it. And then we're going to bring it up here. And then over here, it's up to you on what you want to do, if you want to continue it or not. I like to kind of define the garage a little bit. So I'll bring it again over here. And then whether or not you put any accent in the back of the house, it's up to you. I like to, you know, just kind of bring it in. It's just something a little different. So sometimes like the dormer area, I will accent it in the brick or stone or whatever color it is I'm doing. There we go. Just so it has a little something different to go with the front of the house. So now we're going to go to siding. I like to just use, I like siding. Siding just looks nice. And I like to use this one here. It's base game. It's about $8. I know on the screen it says 0, but that's because I'm in windowed screen and the price of stuff doesn't always look right. But I like these ones down here because I can change the trim to a different color. So what I'm going to do is I like to decide how it is I want it. Do I want the trim here? Because I only have one square, so I had to decide this for any other areas for the house, or do I want it to be on the other side where it trims out where the accent on the left is. In this case, I will favor it being on the right, because it'll be the corner. I will probably always favor it being on the corner. So do we have a good direction for the color? Not really. The lighting is not good. So we're going to come over here and try to decide our color. So we have this brownish color over here. Now you can come in here if you wanted and click on here and get the color if you want it to be in the same family or whatever you want to call it. Just double click on it to where it's highlighted and hit Control C. That will copy that number because you cannot right mouse click it. It will go away. And then you can come over here and then you can double click again and do Control V to paste, and that'll put that color over here. And now we can just lighten it or darken it and keep it in the same family. But when it's lighter, for me it's not light enough. So since I'm right here, I'm going to try to stay pretty close to that same family, and I'm just going to bring it down closer to the white. There we go. And then I like to go and change this one and just make it like really white. There we go. Really stand out in the white. Alright, so because we have that now, we can go ahead and put in the others that we're going to need. So we're going to need one of them, and then we're going to need one of them. So let's go ahead and copy. And we're just going to grab these little dots here and we're going to pull them over. And it's going to just bring all the color palette all over to the other side. There we go. And what I like to do is I like to put the siding on the foundation part too. I don't know, I just think that looks better that way. Now remember, we chose to have this on the corner here, so we're not going to put it here because that won't put it on the corner. So we're going to go ahead and put that in right there. And I want one right there, so we're going to do all the corner pieces everywhere that needs one. There we go. And right there. And we're going to put it here. This already has a corner, so I can put it on that side as well, so it gives that piece a corner. Then we're going to put it over here for this corner. And we're going to just keep putting our colors in is basically all I'm doing. So there's that one. Now since this is like the deck area, that will be in the brick. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and outline that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab our other side, start doing the other side. There we go. We're going to find anywhere else that we need to get a corner and put that in. There we go. Oops. Sometimes it doesn't always spin right and it bugs me. Now you see how that's different? That's because we did not use this piece, so we have to switch it. So what we'll do is we'll use one that doesn't have a border right there, because you're not going to be able to put that in. Because then we'll have that trim piece up there, and that won't look right. Okay, so we're going to come down over here, finish that one, do this, this, and this. There we go. And then we'll get the one that doesn't have any trim at all. And to make it go faster, if you want, you can click on this paint contiguous area and it'll paint all the areas that you need. You don't have to do individual clicking. There we go. that in. And we're going to do that here. And then we gotta go right there. There we go. Now, whoops, we still have this side over here. I didn't put a piece over there in that corner. I missed. That's okay, we can just copy it. And put them in. And whoops, get off of that. Put that right there. There you go. You can also push your left mouse button down and just kind of drag. That will also give you, let you paint the whole piece. So now what I'm going to do is I like to blacken areas my Sims can't go. So I'm only going to color the pitch areas that are visible from the outside. And if I were to have it color or fill the whole thing in, like we were doing down here, that would do both sides, and I don't want to do that. So there's this. There we go. And then what I do next is I don't want all this extra like roofing pieces here. So I'm going to get rid of them. By going to the wall tool and holding down Control, I can delete all these unnecessary pieces. Too bad we didn't get any money back from them. But we don't, unfortunately. So there's that. And I do suggest getting rid of them because they can cast a shadow on different areas of the house on the outside. So I do suggest getting rid of them. And of course we don't want them inside the house because, well, that just wouldn't look right. So there we go, get rid of them. And get rid of that. They're just unnecessary. They're just supports. We don't really need them. I mean, it's a Sims. Who cares? So now I'm going to go ahead and color in the areas where my Sims cannot go. So I pick this carpet here. And I just put one down. And I go and I color it. And then all I'm going to do is change it to miscellaneous, to the black, which I have saved because I get tired of changing it all the time. So I just save it. That is not considered custom content, so don't worry about it. It's just your own personal preference. And I'm just going to fill it in. Do this before you start putting in any flowers, because if you go to put flowers and stuff down, you won't be able to fill it in. And you'll have to move your flowers. I have been known to forget to do that. So right here, make sure you fill this in first, because then you won't be able to later if you have any flowers. So now we're going to do the wall, turn it black, go to the paint, and if you go to one of these, this one over here, it will not have any border on top or bottom. Whoops. So it makes a nice solid color, and we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're going to turn it black, so we're going to go to miscellaneous, pick the black color, and now we're just going to copy it on all the inside. Everywhere that our Sims cannot go. That includes the inside of a fireplace or the chimney. Sims can't get there, so now we're just going to fill in those. I just prefer to do this because I find it distracting. Not really too distracting, but when you're trying to find your Sim and you can't seem to find your Sim, it just helps keep your eyes from looking in the areas your Sim can't even go. So if your Sim can't go there, I don't want to be looking at it. So there, that takes care of all of that. Usually any area that you don't color with your siding is usually an area that your Sims cannot get to. So there we go. Let's color this in over there. And then let's color this in over here. There we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. That's from the roof. Whoops. I still have constrained full elevation on. Imagine that. So let's go ahead and get this off. Constrained floor elevation true. You want to put it back on. It's basically what we're doing, is we're putting it back on. And now comes the roof color. Now that we have siding, we can now choose our roof color. So let's go with Again, I kind of want to keep with the brown. That is not what I want. Like, this is good for beach, but I don't think it's very good for like the area that I'm building in now. This one I've used quite a bit. I actually kind of like that one. I know I like that shade. Ooh, that one's nice. Huh. That one would be one that comes from one of these store content worlds, and I don't know how easy that would be to find. So I'm gonna go, that way I can let you know. I think I'm just gonna go with this one. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this part here. So here's the exterior so far on what I do when it comes to building a house. We don't need this anymore. Whoops. We don't need this anymore. We'll get rid of that. So this is kind of what I do. That's how I get started. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any suggestions or comments or anything or any questions that maybe I didn't cover, go ahead and leave them below. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.